Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are going to be talking about Alpha Flight Classics Volume 2. Alright, so I already brought you Volume 1 and now is Volume 2 of Canada's premier superhero team, Alpha Flight. Made their debut in the pages of X-Men, created by John Byrne, as foils to fight the X-Men and bring their property, Weapon X, aka Wolverine, back to the team. They were super popular, so they got their own book in the 80s, and John Byrne drew 28 issues, including 3 double issues, and I consider those to be the only Alpha Flight stories. I guess I could include Alpha Flight and X-Men with written by Chris Claremont and drawn by Paul Smith, just because, I mean, it's Chris Claremont and Paul Smith. But anyway, so this is Volume 2. There was 3 volumes. The first one's super hard to find, the one I went over. The second 2 volumes, not so much, so you can still find them fairly affordable. And, you know, so I feel like as a completist, like since, you know, I have the single issues, since I consider JB's Alpha Flight pretty much the only Alpha Flight, I try to collect as many different versions of the John Byrne run as I can. So this is the second volume, which basically includes issue 9, starts with issue 9, and I think it goes up to issue 19, but we'll see. So this is Alpha Flight's together because they want to be, so they normally don't hang out, and Byrne approached it like doing solo stories of the team members. A lot of people didn't really jive with that. I thought it was super cool because I thought it was always awesome when the team had to come together for a special reason. This is Walter Lankowski is aka Sasquatch, and I don't know, he's just such a cool character. As you can see, coming from the flames and the explosion. I mean, do we not know that that's Super Skrull right there? Because John Byrne draws such an awesome Super Skrull. Look at that. Super Skrull, basically the shape-shifting alien. They should definitely do the Skrull invasion for the Marvel movies. I mean, if they want to adapt a good story. So here's a backup story of the origins of Alpha Flight. Here's my beloved Aurora. I keep going on about how much I love the twins. Aurora and Northstar are my favorite. They grew up without each other. She was like in an orphanage. She suffers from mental illness, being a split personality. And I guess she was going to take a nosedive off the top of this nun school that she went to and discovered she could fly. So by the grace of God, she was saved by her mutant power. And the nuns are all, girl, I ain't having that. I'm going to beat that devil crap out of you. Anyway. So I love this panel here. I guess people from Montreal were joking because it says, within an hour at a fashionable night spot in Montreal. Somehow that's funny, but I don't know. I'm not from Montreal. Although I love Canada and Canadians, mostly because of Alpha Flight. I know that sounds silly, but that, you know, but there's so much to love about Canada, and, you know, the least of which being ketchup-flavored potato chips, my favorite. So, great Sasquatch cover there. Pink, Beauty and the Beast, right? Balance. They used a lot of pink in the 80s because they didn't have, you know, digital colors, and they had to make stuff pop off the newsstands. This is actually, hopefully the original cover is in there, but this is a terrible recolor of Alpha Flight number 12, I think. Great shot of Super Skrull. The action is so on. This reminds me of like the movie The Thing. I love that. That is so cool. Just, I don't know. John Byrne, he's such a, like, competent, sort of, you know, diligent artist as far as his, you know, capability with the detail and the storytelling and stuff. So I love it when he does little flourishes that I feel are artistic. I love when he gets artistic like that. That looks so cool to me, like very, very arty in a way. More Aurora. Gosh, you know, if I wanted to collect original Alpha Flight art, aside from not being able to afford it, it seems like I might have good odds of finding some pages with the twins on them. See, this is an example of why what makes John Byrne such a great comic book artist. You know, it's not like the image crap of the 90s with no backgrounds and just, I mean, not that there isn't a place in history for that, because there is, but, you know, they were standing on the shoulders of people like John Byrne. Look at, he draws everything. I mean, this is this guy's drafting table. You know, just like the side pocket on his wheelchair with the magazines in it. And, you know, like, does he have to draw a pattern on the curtain? No, but he does. I mean, in a different pattern on the chair, which is being held together with tape. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. And this is just like, this goes to show that he just loves drawing. I just feel that when you look at his art, you can definitely sense that. Box being revealed there in the closet behind the curtain. The box behind the curtain. I love Box. He has a great design for a strongman. There's the John Byrne's Volkswagen. It's unfortunate that the license plate is covered up by snow because it should say GNU something, which I believe was like one of Byrne's first cars or something, is why it makes it an appearance here and there. Mega Flight here. Delphine Courtney with her asymmetrical hairdo recruiting Omega Flight. Lots of great shots of Guardian. Oh, and we are Omega Flight. This would be a great page to owe to. I love Diamond Lil. Box, who, these guys are bad guys here, but Box comes to the light, thank God. Dr. Lankowski walking around in your trunks there. See, this is Byrne, I feel, being artistic there. I love that. The Aurora Borealis, is that what they call that? Or the Northern Lights? My bad. I'm gonna embarrass myself if I keep trying to do stuff like that. This is a crazy, great couple of pages. No words, no words, none needed, no sound effects, nothing. That's the beauty of comic books. The words are there if you need them, but if you don't, if you're a great, competent artist and storyteller, sometimes you just don't need words. They would ruin it. That can be the point of contention between artists and writers, especially if the artist writes as well. This is the ominous pre-Guardian death. Spoiler, sorry. And One Shall Surely Die. I love the great titles. I say that often, but they just don't, you know, have great titles, dramatic titles. I think Byrne and Claremont are definitely the kings of cheesy, long, literary reference titles that are just, like, so dead on. I remember when this came out, this was exciting. I mean, this jumps right off the stand and smacks you in the face with all that purple and yellow. That's why they use a lot of yellow in advertising, because it makes everything pop. That's why caution signs are yellow. I guess that's why school buses are yellow too. So you can see it coming. So you can learn, not only can you learn about comic book history from my videos, you can learn about science too. Great shots of Aurora, my favorite Elfin, followed by my second favorite Elfin. Boy, Jean-Paul got the short end of the stick. Oh, no pun intended. I'm so sorry. That wasn't a little person joke, I swear. Some great shots of the team. I loved Namor and Marina together. It made sense, right? Namor's like a big player. He should have lots of exciting women like that. Some great shots. I love that Jean Paul is such a bastard that he pisses Sasquatch off pretty easily, who seems to have a little bit of a temper, but there's something going on there that we don't know yet. Some sort of anger management, beast side taking over me kind of thing. Great double page spread of Guardian in battle with Omega Flight. Aurora was always, like, what that what the heck? Like, make Aurora a little stronger. Like, in issue 27, she gets taken out early by some electrical cables or some crap. It's like, she's better than that. Although, I don't think she has any training, so maybe that's reflective of that. They never really showed Alpha Flight training. They sort of just show up and do it. Diamond Will's trying to choke Snowbird with one of her diamond hard strands of hair, which is something you would kind of see with John Byrne's Next Men with, God, what's her name? The blonde. Is it Bethany? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to give my Byrne victim card back. This is super cool because I feel like Box is very much like a metal version of Sasquatch as far as they have the same stature and everything. So that's really cool to see a page like that. Don't you hate when you rip open your shirt and your whole boob plate goes with it? Great page of the twins there. The twins. They are real twins. I feel like I love it. John Byrne's cross hatching, like, belongs in a museum. I love John Byrne's cross hatching. Terry Austin always inked it very well, I felt. Here's Mac in one of his less shining moments. His face is busted up. His costume, oh, look what, poor Box. His costume's beat to hell. There's the final countdown, and then, wouldn't you know it, your wife comes in and interrupts you, and you're exploding. Now, see, like, if you wanted to be, like, all conspiratorial and everything, you could look into this and be like, what's happening here? Is he just really teleporting to another dimension, perhaps? Perhaps, but then his corpse keels over and is still talking in that sad state. Boy, he came to a bad end. She's going to have to live with that crap. So now we come to post-Mac's death. This is, okay, sucker. The only way to get to the lady is through me. That's such a typical Wolverine thing to say. And it was always, let's see, Al Milgrom, Bill Sienkiewicz, John Byrne. Who's that? Terry Austin. Did Terry ink this? I doubt it, but it's possible. Frank Miller. Great funeral scene. Wordlessly written by Byrne once again. He's such an amazing storyteller that you just don't need words sometimes. And this has a lot of emotional weight. This is, I mean, some people might consider that lazy or whatever, but I think it's effective storytelling. I've never seen someone not use borders like that. I mean, I think it's fairly commonplace now, but I feel like, I don't, you know, maybe the, you know, Byrne says he didn't really know what to do with Alpha Flight. He ran out of story ideas, blah, blah, blah. But maybe that was a strength because it feels like, in a way, it pushed him to be innovative and sort of, it looks like he's, in a way, entertaining himself by some of the really fun stuff he puts in here. And just really, I mean, come on, that miniature smart aleck, that's cool. Shaman's, Mary Poppins, fanny pack. You never know what you're gonna find in there. Some Kleenex, a cough drop, another dimension. I love this cover. Here we go with our pink and yellow advertising pop colors, but this is such a great cover. I mean, just, you know, only Byrne, like the view from beneath the water, but you can see Puck outside and standing on the dock, and I just love this for so many reasons. The ripple in her jeans, you just know that I'm in, you know, I buy it. They say you have to have suspension of disbelief to read comic books, and color me suspended. Another great shot of Snowbird. So much fun you can do with her cape. You could almost do like a Spawn thing if you wanted to, like a Todd McFarlane Spawn Snowbird. That would be kind of cool. I mean, what is this sweater? I guess it was the 80s. And, of course, the woman has to strip down to her bra and jeans and jump in the water. This is a John Byrne comic book, after all. He does like the ladies. This is like one of my favorite things going on here, too. This is Aurora battling her other personality, the conservative Jeanne Marie. And I just love, I thought it's fun. She's, you know, minding her own business, taking a shower. She wipes away the steam. Let me out! Her other personality. I mean, can you not see this in a movie? I mean, can't you see this in a movie? Such a great, nobody ever drew such a freaking amazing looking toilet. Strategically placed, if I might add. There was a fun addition to Marina's costume with the sleeve. I added that to some superheroes that I was making up when I was, you know, 10 years old. And ripped off quite a lot from Byrne. Here we have Elizabeth Two Young Men, which is Michael Two Young Men, Shaman's daughter. And she'll go on to become one of my favorite Alpha Flight members. This is such a great cover here. You can really see the savagery of Marina. I mean, if she can go head-to-head with the Submariner. The Submariner's no joke. I mean, where's his movie? With the success of Aquaman, you think they'd be all over it, but they must be waiting for something brilliant. I don't know. Here we go with welcoming Bob Wiacek. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong, as inker. I was disappointed to not see Byrne inking, but I feel like Bob Wiacek is a really good inker for Byrne. He very much, it's funny because he doesn't ink Byrne like Byrne inks himself, but the way he inks Byrne makes you see what his pencils look like, if that makes any sense. They look, the way Byrne, the way Wiacek inks Byrne, in my opinion, makes it look more like his pencils than Byrne's inks do, even though I like Byrne's inks better. If that makes any sense. Forgive me, it probably doesn't. Here we come to a very poignant moment. That's what I love, the whole issue, and we get like one page of Aurora recovering from her, you know, battle, and she's determined to separate herself from Jeanne Marie once and for all, and she's gonna do that with a pair of scissors, as we'll find out. No. I'd be like, I'm gonna nope out of this. I'm not gonna fight you. You look way too pissed off. Such great fight choreography going on there. I love it. Such great angles. This was such a great page. Out like a water spout. And of course, even though Marina's flipping a bitch, he's gonna attack Puck. And then here we go with Elizabeth Two Young Men. I wonder if that name is politically incorrect by today's standards. It sounds a little silly, but it could be a real name. Who knows? Byrne used a lot of real names. Ocean Master. I love this. It reminds me of some sort of cyborg Finding Nemo kind of thing. I mean, look at all that broken glass. Doesn't this just make you want to run out and read this? I mean, so much fun, such great stories, such great supporting characters. Madison Jeffries. That's when you could still smoke in Marvel Comics. They came out with a mandate, I forgot, a long time ago, that they put the kibosh on smoking. And that's why you don't see Wolverine smoking anymore, although they could justify it because of his healing factor. He's not going to get cancer. So, but little kids don't need to see superheroes smoking for sure. Wow, that is some major retin-A moment there. Guardian is dead. Who will lead Alpha Flight? Well, probably the woman with the wrong hair color. What they always, I mean, this is a house ad, for Christ's sakes. Who's managing this? You had one job. I mean, come on. Get the colors right. I hate how careless they were with the colors back in the day. And it was usually on a cover or some crap like that, because the person coloring the cover wouldn't be the interior artist per se, because Andy Yankas wouldn't have done that. He knows better. Joe Rosen, very good letter. I love the hand lettering of the 80s. It's all digital now. I think probably some indie artists might letter their own, but, you know. This is some reprint from X-Men, I think. It's funny because I love how Guardian's helmet is white, but there's so much heavy shadow on it. It's a great scene of the X-Men by the lake having a little picnic, and they get sabotaged by Guardian. Was this his first attempt to bring Logan back, perhaps? And of course, nobody draws Wolverine without his mask better than John Byrne. I love this here, of course, because it's Aurora, but I just always thought it was fun. The little glass tank that she's in as she's having her powers altered. See, she's cut her hair, and she's having her powers altered so she can make herself different from her brother, the bastard Jean-Paul Beaubier. Technically, I guess this is the first appearance of what the collective they would go on to refer to as her ice skating costume. But I love it, and we'll get to that in a minute. This is kind of a weak cover for Burns, like action, intrigue, face it, this one has it all. It's funny because this is very foreshadowing. John Byrne wanted to make her the leader of the team, but he never wanted her to be in the costume. And so it's the first thing Bill Mantlo does is put her in the costume. I don't think it made her a better character. I always think it's a little limelight stealing when people do that. This is so disgusting. She's making scrambled eggs, and of course they're enchanted, so they're gonna... Dark Snowbird. I mean, don't you hate when you're making out with somebody and then they reveal themselves to be like a super evil demon? Oh, and you know, I swear to God, you leave scrambled eggs on the stove for 2 minutes and this is what happens. But this is what I love about the, like, Alpha Flight. Like, that's so crazy, like, fighting scrambled eggs. Such a great shot there of that big exploding house. Once again, I mean, we're like almost at the end of the book, and Byrne's gonna go ahead and draw this kitchen with see-through cabinets and like every tile on the floor. He does not phone this stuff in. Great work here. This is reminding me of that issue of the FF with by Ordway and inking Byrne with the black and white cover. I think it was 276. And this is one of the greatest covers ever. Introducing Talisman. I love her. She's like, I'm going to say a third tier Alphen, because basically you have the first team, and then the second tier would be Marina and Puck, who graduated from Beta Flight. And she's part of the third wave, which would include basically her and Box. So, but she has a great costume. I love it. I love that even though it's very kind of, you know, like it's got a plunging neckline and open hips and everything, it's not slutty, and she doesn't have gigantic boobs. But she's still so cool looking. Very much, that actually would be a good Wonder Woman costume. Or like a Wonder Girl. I know everyone's like, no, no. So we're on issue 19. It's like Western stuff. See, did I mention that? I love how Byrne puts in so many different like genres into these books. This looks like a fun, like, scary Western. A lot of torture for these characters. Okay, so this is a reprint of X-Men 109, and I want to say this is the first appearance of Guardian in the X-Men. And this cover was drawn by Dave Cockrum, and see, like I'm saying, like, why didn't Byrne draw the cover? Oh, it's so funny to, like, go back to his, like, earlier artwork. Still so good, but so different at the same time. And we've got Terry Austin on inks here. The best storm ever. Nobody draws a better storm. Fight me. Nobody draws a better Nightcrawler. Fight me. So this is coming to the end of the Volume 2 of Alpha Fight Classics. It was nice that they included this issue of the X-Men in here. Make it a little more inclusive. Oh, and also cool when you could, God forbid, cut out your comic book and mail in for a subscription, which was so cheap. But I think, like, the times I got them, they were always mailed bent and stuff like that, so it really pissed me off. Besides, who wants your comics mailed when you can go to the comic book store on Wednesday and get your new comics? Anyway, the art was fun for that. And horrible, like, I don't understand those colors at all. Just, like, is it airbrushy, watercolory? I don't get it. Not anything to do with the way Alpha Flight was or should look or anything like that. John Byrne, Fantastic Four Omnibus. And that's that. So that's Alpha Flight Classics Volume 2. Please hit like and subscribe, and I will bring you Volume 3. All right, thanks, guys.